Yeah. Here we go.
So today I'm here with my good friend Reid, who has a very unique project. But before we talk about the project, I'd love to hear a little bit about you and where you come from.
Well, I'm originally from California, but I've lived all over the place. Most recently, I was in Durham, North Carolina, where I got started on the Apparel project. But I was looking for a small rural town that was in need of jobs, because that's a lot of the focus of what I'm working on, which is custom women's wear, custom fit garments as a way to create jobs in rural America. And so my partner and I came to Princeton and completely fell in love with it. We are mountain people. We fell in love with the people and the community. And there's certainly a need for good working class jobs here. And so we felt like this is just a great fit for us. That was about 3 years ago last fall. And it's been a really amazing place to create and have space to experiment with things and be inspired by the mountains and the natural environment here.
Yeah, it is quite a different experience than coming from California and all the places you've been. And there is something magical about this little town. There's so many beautiful creatives and people to connect with. Now, your project's really unique to me because it's something I think we need more of in the world. And I have watched you just get so excited about this offering that you're trying to bring to life. Would you like to talk about what it is you do and what it is you're working on?
Yeah. So it's been a project that's gone on for almost a decade. It's evolved a lot. It started out in Durham. I was inspired to create some professional looking garments that you could ride your bike in. I felt like there was really nothing out there for women that was high quality and allowed you to like move and be active in your life. Because at the time I was riding my bike to work every day. And so I designed a few different garments, and then I got really frustrated when the things I was making didn't fit people. I really like tailored looking clothing, and I think it really makes a difference to have something that fits you personally and makes you feel strong and powerful as you are in your body. And so I got frustrated with the sizing system and started looking into it and realized we have all these cool softwares that we're not really taking full advantage of for women. And what's more, it's a really good way. Small batch, custom quality things is a great focus for the US apparel market. And we're also not taking advantage of that. And then I just saw this tremendous need for jobs for people who may or may not want to go and get a college degree, who just want something that will support their families, where they can live in their communities and make a really good, decent wage. And so I figured, gosh, this is such a magical combination between all the women that are complaining about the clothing that doesn't fit them and not being able to find anything and things aren't high quality, and this need to create jobs. And so I started experimenting with it. And of course, everything is harder than it looks.
That's the truth.
Yeah, everything's harder than it looks. So I started at blazers, which was a horrible place to start. A very difficult garment. And then I shifted to blouses and did this blouse project, which was wonderful in that I really discovered that you could do this. You could fit somebody across the country or even in different parts of the world remotely with a custom garment that fits just them using the software. But then I ran into the problem of the sewer shortage. So there's a crisis in the US in terms of the number of people that are trained to make quality garments, or really any garments. It's been a dying art. And so I had a huge challenge with trying to get my clothing produced. And so that led to a bunch of advocacy work on the state level to get people trained to sew, because I'm seeing this I see on the horizon, the softwares are getting even better. So the software that I was using for the blouse project to tailor the patterns, there's now even better softwares where I can take Shannon and put Shannon's avatar in this program and drape a garment straight onto Shannon's avatar and then send the final garment the first time to Shannon's home, where she will wear it for all her important things that she does, right?
I cannot wait for this to happen.
So it's arrived, and we're not taking advantage of it. We also have ways to take really good measurements. And so all of these things were not quite there a few years ago, and they're here now. And so what we need is sewers to respond to this issue. We need to be able to say there are, a couple dozen sewers in the community, and these people are trained at this level. They can make as much as $55 an hour sewing. So it's not, people kind of imagine like, oh, what are they really making? How much is it worth it to train somebody? But you could make a lot of money as a sewer these days. And so anyway, I think it's a really exciting opportunity for West Virginia. And to wrap it up, I'm currently in the phase where I'm making more designs. So I'm really focusing on more studio time these days. So, for me, bootstrapping this, doing this part-time means that I'm making my own patterns and I'm sewing everything up and I'm designing things, and I'm doing that a few hours each day. But it's wonderful. And at the same time, I'm going to be learning this new software that I spoke of with the draping. And I've sourced a few home sewers. So I expect that over the next year or two, I will be able to offer clients this kind of custom fit wardrobe staples focused on high quality, versatile things that women can wear in their professional lives.
Wow. So this is so powerful and game changing for women, because there's so many different tailored options for men's clothes. Like, let's just be realistic there. Growing up, I didn't think that I would have the opportunity as a woman to get clothes that were made to fit my body. And I felt very awkward growing up, not finding clothes that fit me. And when I would, they were always different sizes. Like, I've had a hard time personally. So I know that you recently were a part of an event with me. And in that event, you showed or shared some jeans that were custom tailored, and someone said that they just fit magically for them. And I think that that's really beautiful, because again, I kind of quit wearing jeans for a long time because I could not find things that fit me that I was proud of or that I would feel really good in. And I love that what you are activating for women and others is to be able to feel good in what we wear and to feel like something was made just for us. That being said, you mentioned your studio. You have a beautiful studio. You're here in Princeton, West Virginia. And your goal, though, is to like you said, get garments all over, right? Yeah. You said you can send them away once you get them. Right. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that, I know you shared a lot of your story, but is there anything else that really truly inspired you to go in this route? Because it seems like you're not just creating clothes, but you're also an advocate for the seamstresses and the sewers of the world and this art that is so still very needed.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I think there's a few things that I want to mention here. And I hear your frustration about fit. And it's funny, everybody thinks that they're unique in it, but pretty much every single woman, no, without exception, every woman I've talked to, even women that look like model sample sizes are like, wow, torso, it's pretty amazing. So everybody goes through this. And I think that there's something really powerful about wearing something that doesn't fit you because it wasn't meant to, and having that tug at you and having to mess with it. And I think it really does have an impact on us. I think there's a reason, that these, men on Wall Street and some women at this point are getting things that are tailored for them so that they look like $1 million, and that they in their own body, they fit with who they are in that moment in time. And I think that's really important. The other thing beyond fit is just, I think the desire for clothing to be a little bit more smart in terms of a woman's lifestyle. So my current project is I'm working on a trouser design, and I have, pretty good size hips for for the other portions of my body. And I have ripped through so many zippers. Oh. And when I rip through a zipper, I become irate, because to me that represents like, okay, now I have to go to the tailor and I have to I have to have them replace the zipper and because I hate replacing zippers. And so just thinking about clothing that's more smartly designed, like, why is the zipper so short? Like, why don't women have pockets? My hands, I have really big hands, and the pockets are like, they don't fit your phone, like maybe a stick of chapstick. It's just ridiculous. And so just thinking about like a woman who is out there, maybe she's picking her kids up and then she's got to run to a meeting. She's like got all these bags in her arms and she's like doing a side hustle, and she's got her art practice, and she needs pockets, and she needs breathable clothing, and she needs her clothing to be reliable and fit well. And like, it's not going to, break down really quickly because it's really cheap. So I wanted to mention that part. And then like, in terms of your question of the other sorts of things that I'm involved in with apparel, I am currently fundraising for a statewide indigo pilot. So one of the things I'm really passionate about as we think about reshoring the apparel industry, I want us to be thinking about it in terms of ways that are helpful to the environment of our community and to the people in our community, so that we're not reshoring things that are poisoning water sources and things. It's extremely important, as particularly in West Virginia, because there's been such an experience with industry here in that way. So I'm currently fundraising for a statewide indigo pilot. I'm very excited about natural dyes and doing more with my own blouses with natural dyes, but then also just bringing that industry to West Virginia. Indigo is amazing. It actually leaves the soil better off than it found it. And then the second thing that we're working on, as I talked about, is the need for sewers. And so we're looking at, and one of the real bottlenecks there is we don't even have instructors that are trained to deliver an industrial sewing curriculum. So we're doing some advocacy to get a pilot off the ground in Morgantown, where we have a few very well-trained instructors who can then teach other people throughout the state to deliver a sewing curriculum and get a bunch of different communities all kind of rising up with advanced skills in sewing, so that we can take advantage of the industry that is reshoring and bringing jobs back to the area.
Wow. That's beautiful. Well, you talked about how important it is for you to have a tailored fit. And I know that something that you're really proud of right now is the outfit that you're wearing. What you're wearing. Could you give us a twirl to show people a little bit about what they can expect? I want to get out of your way.
Okay, thank you. So it's very exciting. Anybody who's watching who's designed clothing, when you are able to bring something to life that is in your head. And I want to just say, like, I had to learn sewing. I had to learn pattern making. I had to learn all these things to bring this vision to life. And I'm like, there's just no way I'm ever going to be able to do all those things. But like a few hours a day at a time, over time, I did learn the skills. And so what I'm showing off today is this dream blouse that I've been really excited about, which is, I've been sort of obsessing about a popped collar, because I think it's really beautiful the way that it frames your face here. And then also you'll notice in the back, it's gathered. And so that allows me like really wonderful range of motion in my shoulders, which is really important to me. So this is the gathered blouse, and it's a really nice, easy wear. It's got some structure, but a lot of movement. Part of what inspires me is thinking about a woman, like if women were all going to work in the 20s, like in our badass jobs, like what would they be wearing? And so that's kind of the look that I go for here. And then this is a wrap pant design that I made. So in the back, it is a pant. In the front, it is a skirt. This is a linen silk blend. And also just like really breathable, really comfortable. It fastens over at the side here and goes.
It's not a zipper.
No, it's not a zipper. It's got a snap, and then this little grommet thing here. And then it works really nicely with the blouse. So all breathable. These will be pieces that I will be making custom to fit each client. So the pants look like they may be very forgiving, but they do have to fit. As you can see in the back, they're pretty fitted with the darts here. So, so this is something that I'm hoping to make for people. So I'll do a little twirl.
I love it. You look so good, and
Thank
you do
you.
look like a badass. I must say that you do look like a badass. So that being said, for others that are looking to get into something that brings them to life, what could you share as a piece of advice for people that want to follow their dream?
Yeah. So I think the real thing that's kind of gelled for me in the last year is the idea of investing small amounts of time every day into something. And then trusting that if you prioritize making that time, that your needs will be met, which is a really, really tricky thing. I think in the past, like especially when I'm sewing, nobody's paying me to sew. Nobody's paying me to design. I'm investing in designs that I am sharing with audiences in the future, right? And so I have to take that time upon myself and do that. And I have to do it every day. If I don't do it every day, if I come up with an excuse one day, I will come up with an excuse tomorrow.
I know how that goes.
Yeah. And I think also just trusting like a bit of time every day is enough. It's enough time, and it will take you to where you need to go.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is to be patient, and things will come if you work towards them.
Right.
Beautiful. So before we wrap up here, where can people find you, and what can they expect to find when they look up Reid Miller?
Awesome. Yeah. So we have a website, reidmiller.us. That is REID Miller.us. And that's also our Instagram handle. So I'm on Instagram. And then I'm going to be starting a Substack account in March. So you can be looking for that on the website or on Instagram. I'll update my information there.
And what is a Substack, real quickly?
Oh, so I'm also a writer. Okay. And I think for me, it's been really important to share what I'm learning, because it's kind of excruciating to learn how to pattern make and make your own designs part-time. Yeah. It's a little excruciating. And I think there's not a few of us that have these dreams that are feel really difficult. And there's plenty of reasons your mind is going to tell you it's just not possible. And so what I try to do, I really love writing, and I try to take what I learn each week as I'm building my brand and working on things and still working jobs to make money. We have to do that too in the meantime. And I'm trying to share each of those lessons on a weekly basis. I share them every Tuesday. And I've been doing that for like almost 10 years now. But I'm going to be switching to Substack to be sharing, getting it out to more audiences.
And Substack has a small patronage that goes to it, a subscription, and that will go towards helping this project?
Yes. Yeah. So the subscription will go towards helping get all the pieces developed and working on the custom women's wear project, which is, again, that's really about making women very high quality clothing tailored to them, tailored to their bodies, and then using that as a way to create jobs in Appalachia and other small towns in the U.S.
Beautiful. So I think we're going to have to wrap up here today, but I would definitely love to talk to you more about this. We're going to get you onto some other platforms here with Bring Me to Life, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. Yeah. You're awesome.
Yeah, so are you.